Hi, guys, and welcome to the AI Leadership Series. This is a new series we're putting together. Today's episode is called Agents and the Digital Workforce. I'm Chris from the Voice of AI. I'm joined today by Yasha from Flowhand. Hi, Yasha.
Leadership. Fascinating topic.
Absolutely, right? AI leadership and the digital workforce today, right? So AI is not just about saving time anymore. It's not just about repetitive tasks and innovation. It's all about reshaping how we work, how we lead, and also how we build businesses, right? So
Standard processes in each company, they're going to change like completely. When AI comes, then a lot of repetitive small tasks are going to be replaced by AI, but so that everyone can really focus on the real work at the core of the business or anything.
So now in this era of AI agents, I mean, it started with 3 to 6 months into this now, right? So how are you finding what customers are talking about, what's going on at the moment?
Yeah, of course. We see a lot of small businesses and also mid-size and also big businesses. They're just trying to learn about it more. Startups and smaller businesses are already trying to incorporate it in their daily life. All the processes that they have, starting from small processes like answering emails or answering tickets, to really big ones that to gather lead, do an outreach, and similar.
Okay, but I mean, the problem is that people don't necessarily even understand what is an AI agent. So could you sort of explain to me and to the guys out there what really is an AI agent?
Yes. So basically, AI agent is, you can think of it as as your employees, your own employees that you have in your organization. They have access to different tools in order to complete either a small task or really a complex task. So in case if you have like a complex task, then it needs to be separated into multiple AI agents. So kind of AI employees, they are just like a simple organization. They have roles and they have specific responsibilities in an organization.
Right. Okay. So can that AI agent be, for instance, I mean, we know that we're talking about this role, this backstory, and the goal of when we give a prompt, for instance, these kind of ideals. So is that how you put that into an AI agent? And what's the difference between sort of just putting it into a prompt and it being an AI agent? What does an AI agent do?
Yeah, so the AI agent uses LLMs in the backend, but they can think. So it has three concepts into it: the thought process, observation, and also tool calling. So when they get a task, description of a task, they observe. Then they think themselves, what tools do they have access to, and they call the tools, and they can do this in a loop like multiple times, 100 times or 200 times, depending on how complex the task is.
Okay, so that's kind of their reasoning. They're sort of able to use different models, and you can plug them into any LLM. Is that?
Yeah. Basically, the access to the world is what is different than a simple ChatGPT call or a simple call to AI. They can think and reason and take actions. That's basically.
All right, cool. Okay, so let's imagine we've got an agent then. So can you give us an example? I mean, we've got this really good workflow that I'm showing quite a lot of people at the moment, which is the blog generator or the advanced blog generator. Now, I've trained a few people with, let's say, probably about the 5th or 6th iteration that you made on the advanced blog generator. And now we're on like number 20 or something like that. So what does that do? What does the blog generator generally do, basically?
Yeah, so basically the naive version that we started with also was just like ChatGPT. You just give, for example, a keyword, and then we connected ChatGPT to Google search, and it searched in Google, found out some content, and then it generated a blog, which was around 2000 or so. Then we thought, okay, this needs to be really improved because normally in organizations, when a blog is generated, you would have as SEO specialist, which does a competitor analysis and finds out the list of competitors and a concrete structure of your of the blog. How should it look like? And then only then it will go to the next step, that a copywriter would get the structure and then find out how should he create a copy and
so basically then the SEO brief generation is the first stage, agent, and the second agent then is actually the guy that writes the blog. So an AI agent is actually doing that. So it's like a
So these are like two agents, and that was the second version that we created. And then as it went on, we found out, okay, also this stage of creating a SEO brief, this structure is more complicated. We need like 5 or 6 agents that have roles for finding, doing a research, finding out what is the best headline, and similar. So then we even separated into even more agents to perfect the SEO brief and also copyright.
Okay, so that brings me on to now then, and I'm guessing as well we've got the AI humanizer in there as well to try and humanize the text as well to make it less kind of AI looking. But so that brings us on then, if you're talking about agents now. This week, we were listening to a few podcasts and we were hearing the swarms of agents, the new sort of phrase coined by, the guys in the US were, okay, swarms of agents. Okay, so swarms of agents, what do you make of that?
Basically, it's like agents doing tasks in parallel together. So they don't have connection to each other, just like what we have in Flowhand, that they delegate tasks to each other. But rather, you have like multiple rows of Google Sheets data or multiple rows. And for each of them, there will be an agent that does an outreach or makes the data or processes the data in different ways. So it's like 100 AI agents that are just working at the same time with no connections to each other, and just
and do we have that in Flowhand? I mean, how can we use more? And why are they calling it swarms? So swarms just means like bees. It's just hundreds, thousands of them running around, right, doing work.
Yeah,
but we've already got something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we also at Flowhand we can do a task in parallel, like 15 concurrent tasks or 100 concurrent tasks in parallel.
Okay.
So when you have like a Google Sheets, we can create an AI agent that outreaches each row
as an individual task, right?
Yeah,
as an individual task. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. Well, it sounds pretty good. So, I mean, look. We've talked about swarms. We talked about agents. That's kind of the new buzzword this week. How do you see AI agents now benefiting business just generally? I mean, we obviously know that it's getting rid of these mundane, repetitive tasks. But generally, why should people be really paying attention to this? What's going on?
Well, if you think of it at scale, it saves a lot of time and money for the business at the end of the year. So you have like businesses that. And when you accumulate all these hours that people are just spending on redundant tasks of like searching, optimizing the knowledge base or similar, all of this can be done with AI agents, so that you really focus on the core part of your business, of growing the business and similar. And also AI agents can help you with giving you insights when it comes to growing the business. So. A lot of repetitive, redundant tasks can be really automated.
And what's your feeling at the moment with the kind of customers? Obviously, you're building certain products, you're doing certain integrations and building components as customers require them. What kind of, workflows, or where do you see it going at the next stage? What do you think is going to be popular? I mean, obviously you've talked about marketing, SEO, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
But what about other types of businesses across the board? What else can Flowhand help you with?
There's financial. I mean, it can help with all sectors, like financial, sales. At the end, tools should not be a limitation. So AI should be able to use any tool that even us humans right now have access to. Yeah. So they should also be able to access any tools that is out there, do the task. And at the end, we will need like flow engineers or some people in any organization that comes up with the task that needs to be automated. And right now, there's just someone doing it. And they would just pinpoint those kind of tasks, create a flow for them, and then on to the next kind of optimization of your pipelines.
Okay, and I mean, what I'm noticing with most of the customers that I'm talking to at the moment is they don't have time to look at their workflows in what they're doing. So how are they going to make time, or why should they make time to save time? How are they going to do it? That's the sort of...
Well, yeah, that comes to this like AI doomers that I usually say. Like AI doomers are saying, yeah, all your jobs are going to be replaced and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Although some jobs is going to be, like you have to spend less time on those jobs, and some small part of each job will be replaced. But now we have opportunity for flow engineering positions. That is, and that's so if you can really reduce even 1 hour of each sales team,
and they can do some better tasks or something more
exactly. So as a business, if you right now, if you actually invest on flow engineers, those flow engineers would really reduce like 1 hour from each of your sales team, for example. So that's the ROI that comes to the business. That's what's flow engineers.
So I'm guessing then, people, you've got to make time in your businesses to really investigate what your workflows are, contact people like us to help you to distinguish what those flows are and how, because for instance, we've got a library of flows, right? So there's tons of flows that have already been built that just help with daily tasks. So you could literally download those flows, use those, become productive, and then start building it out, right?
Yeah. Like summaries every week of what your sales team have done. For example, write in Slack, write in the tools that you are using every day. So that's when the power of AI actually comes in. Instead of just going in and logging in a system and making forcing your whole organization to just log in a system, just using the tools that your organization is already familiar with and comfortable with, and just using AI in that's when the kind of the real magic comes in, because then you are using AI like in day-to-day life, in everyday life.
Okay, and could you see at one point training those companies or agencies or, training those people to be able to use the tools so that they can actually do everything themselves?
Yeah, that's the point.
So using a SaaS model like Flowhand, for instance, you can build flows, you can use templates, but then once you work out your own workflows, we can build even more flows, teach them how to build it.
More integrations, flows.
Okay, right. Sounds good. Right. So I'm guessing then really, obviously, if you're curious about agents and curious about workflows and curious about, let's say, making your business better, then pretty much I would suggest to get in touch with us, and we can come audit, have a look at what you're doing, audit the company, audit the flows, have a look, and get in touch with us at flowhunt.io. So we'll be here again next time to discuss even more interesting AI stuff. Thanks, Yasha, for joining me again today, and we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.